Hey everybody, welcome back to the Serving Pleasure Podcast.
Exotic Erotic.
With your hosts,
Wesley Corpola.
and Bailey Schultz.
Orientalism is a way of seeing that imagines, emphasizes, exaggerates, and distorts differences of African, Arab, and East Asian peoples and cultures as compared to that of the West.
It often involves seeing cultures as exotic, over-sexualized, backwards, uncivilized, and at times, dangerous.
Hi. So it's been a while.
We don't even remember what y'all look like. It's been so long.
Ooh. The belly laugh hurt.
You did start bleeding.
My belly burst with giggles.
So,
So it's been a while since we've had a podcast going. 3 weeks. Almost the entire month of July.
time flies when you're having fun not doing podcasts.
This job is just so demanding, though, that we need to take a 3-week hiatus.
I feel so energized.
So refreshed.
So well rested.
Oh, man. I'm guessing it's no surprise to any listeners when I say that we were really petering out.
I'm sure you could have. I'm sure that we got so many emails about how
title
the bags under our eyes.
Subject saying petering out ... Wow.
Parentheses you are.
We are in it to win it.
I mean, we weren't even halfway through the book before we took a break.
We needed one, though.
That's true.
No, it's not. So we hope that you've been listening to the other Serving Pleasure podcasts. They've also kind of been slow on uploading, but that's just because they have some scheduling stuff too.
And
hopefully you've been listening to the 4th of July themed one-off podcast too. There's a Martin Van Buren one that just came out.
that's true.
So
Anyway,
that's enough plugging for our franchise, I think.
I guess, because the people listening already know about us.
Yeah.
We just gotta get a billboard.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Oh. Oh.
My. What did I... Oh, the belly. Too soon.
The yarn was breaking of my stitches.
That I just put in.
Yeah. You threaded the yarn.
A moment ago. It's that yarn that changes color.
The rainbow yarn.
Yeah.
It's all red
That
now.
That one was for Deb. He loves yarn. Okay.
Okay, so the title of this episode is The Garbageman's Revenge.
Ooh, we all remember how the garbage man was wronged in the previous chapter, so it'll be interesting to see how he exacts his revenge upon Holly.
Someone.
And maybe someone else.
Maybe someone.
Maybe. Who's to say?
Maybe it was an animal.
Let's read on.
Yes. Chapter 6. An image burned inside Holly's mind. It was her sister's body on TV, the tattooed arm, highlighted by the blare of lights. She searched for Jazz for a month. She had filed police reports and talked to an investigator who had promised to make inquiries. But they hadn't...
And then she's dead.
But they hadn't found her sister until it was too late. Oh, really? No matter how diligent they might be, the officers were only human. Or are they?
She's a police sympathizer. I see.
If they arrested the Sheikh, they would concentrate their immediate efforts on grilling him. Meanwhile, the killer would escape, or perhaps strike again.
I'm the garbage
Oh,
man?
I just realized the implications of that sentence.
Oh wait, Holly's making it about herself again. Weird.
Crazy how just 4 paragraphs
How
in.
little she cares about Ben, really.
Holly wasn't sure the men from Alcadar could accomplish any more than the police, but something about Sharif filled her with confidence that defied explanation. She checked her watch. 22 minutes had passed. It was time to call Alice. The salon, I almost said saloon.
I wish.
The salon owner answered Marta's phone on the first ring.
This better be you! Of course it's me. You're not going to rat on us, right? You promised.
Don't worry. Marta and I swore everyone to secrecy.
Her boss replied.
I hope I'm not making a terrible mistake. Now what's this about the Sheikh being Ben's father, Holly?
She took a deep breath and plunged in.
Jazz was a surrogate mother. He hired her through the Crestline View Clinic.
Jazz? No way. He's making this up.
He showed me his contract with the clinic.
She said.
And the baby. Their eyes are exactly alike.
A warning note crept into Alice's voice.
I saw a TV show where a kidnapped victim got attached to her captor. It's some kind of mental trick they use. Don't forget that he grabbed you and forced you into the car. It's called Stockholm Syndrome.
Yes, yeah. It's just some kind of mental trick. It's like a magic trick.
No, he didn't.
Holly said.
He took the baby and I jumped in after him. Then someone shot at us. This case is a lot bigger than the police realize, and they're wasting their time focusing on Sharif. Alice, I need Griff's pager number.
You're not planning to investigate this yourself.
We have to.
Holly said.
Please, Alice.
Her friend sighed.
I gave it to the cops already. They questioned me, of course, and I'm sure they've talked to him by now, too.
If they can reach him, if they can reach him, you know how leery he is.
Holly pointed out.
Come on. What can it hurt to give me the number?
Okay, but listen.
Alice was, as usual, thinking on her feet.
Why don't you meet me somewhere? Give me the baby. I'll take care of him while you're doing whatever crazy things you've decided to do.
It was a kind offer, but impossible.
That might put you in danger. Besides, Sharif won't part with his son.
She decided not to mention that Ben was going to be handed over to a cousin.
A cousin.
A cousin
Amy? I wonder.
Let's read on. I'm sorry, Alice.
There was a long pause. Then,
Well, all right. Here's Griff's number.
she read it off.
1, 2, 3. And Holly?
Yes?
I won't volunteer anything about this conversation, but if the police ask me a direct question, I won't lie either.
I understand.
She said.
You're already doing more than anyone could reasonably expect.
Take care of yourself.
Alice said.
And let me know when you need me to take care of that sweet little baby. Anytime.
I will, and thanks.
Holly clicked off.
Click.
Is clicked off?
That's
ever?
no one has ever said that.
I'm clicking off.
Although I don't know.
Did you just click me off? Oh, I think they clicked me off.
You kissed your mother with that click? That was weird.
Through the window, she saw Sharif and Zahad talking next to the truck. A glimmer of sunlight had broken through the clouds, making water droplets glisten like crystal ornaments on the dark trees.
Wow.
Oh, the imagery.
Jacqueline paid such a beat.
Oh, it's falling off my lips. Such rich words. She couldn't page Griff until she conferred with the Sheikh. For one thing, she didn't know what return phone number to leave. We all get this. All millennials understand that.
The pagers.
Return numbers. Inside the cabin, all was deceptively quiet. Ben slept, curled on the bed like a kitten.
How deceitful.
Curled on the bed like a kitten.
meow.
Or a
With
baby.
his tail curled around him, covering his nose so it doesn't get cold.
Wouldn't that just be the fetal position?
No.
Okay. I'll take your word for it.
I'm a woman.
Oh, that's right.
We know how to handle babies.
On TV, the weather report showed another storm would be moving in later that day, bringing high winds and rain. Harry, there's a storm coming. Best be prepared for when she does. If you guys can tell us what Harry Potter movie that is from, I will give you
A surprise prize.
Smoking Hot Cheetos.
Smoking hot.
Smoking Hot.
Is that a different flavor? It's better be.
At least now they had the pickup truck, so they weren't stuck. Still, the prospect of a storm made her edgy. Outside, Zahad kicked his motorbike into action and sped away.
I got a
What a
motorcycle.
badass.
I got a motorcycle. Can I ride it? Can I ride it? Can I ride it?
Look how badass I am. Cherie headed for the cabin. The Sheikh moved with tense readiness, like a fighter.
Honestly, I thought you made that up at first, but that's really what it said.
It could have just said tense readiness.
Like a seasoned fight. She could have done at least something.
Or just not. I feel like
I know.
a simile
She's
just
done
was
it.
not required at that point.
Especially such a.
I don't think the fact that he is tensed, he has tensed readiness, I don't think it's going to have any gravitas throughout the story. So, I mean, why waste your time writing a simile?
Jacqueline.
Jacqueline!
Her time is. You don't have to put out the red light.
The insistent maleness of the man infused every movement. The insistent maleness.
That is MALE-ness, not. We're not talking about USPS here, people.
Stop laughing. He'd mentioned that he was a widower. What kind of life did he lead at home? Was there a woman who had earned the right to strip off that sweatshirt and hold him through the night?
What a weird way to say something. I'm not looking forward to these sex scenes anymore. I think they're gonna be weird.
Just the fact that she's like fantasizing, like tearing off a sweatshirt. She pictured a bed hung with a canopy. The woman would have long dark hair and mysterious eyes, and yet she would feel just as Holly did, eager and hungry and a little awed by this man.
Sounds like Holly's daydreaming more about the woman.
Yeah.
Which is fine. Which is totally okay.
Except for the fact that she has mysterious eyes. That's a little off. She would have to have mysterious eyes where they come from.
Oh. Because they're different.
Mm-hmm. Don't know what's in their heads. It's the TV anchor.
We have several new developments in the case of Harborview's kidnapped bride.
The TV announcer's voice snapped her back to reality, and she hurried to turn up the volume.
As reported earlier, Hannah Jasmine Rivers, the woman whose body was found in the desert last night, was the mother of the baby boy who vanished with his aunt just before her wedding yesterday.
The anchorman, a 40-ish fellow with perfect hair. Why does this matter? I don't care how old he is or what his hair looks like. I can picture an anchor. Stared straight into the camera as if about to unburden his heart's deepest secret.
Hannah Rivers apparently served as a surrogate mother for the Crestline View Clinic in Harborview. According to an employee of the clinic, the father of that baby is the alleged kidnapper, Sheikh Sharif Al-Khalil.
Wow, you really captured the about to tell the camera, about to unburden his heart's deepest secret. I really felt it in that anchor.
Thanks.
Yeah. He has confidence. Sharif, who had slipped into the room, stood watching with reluctant respect.
Everyone has such complex emotions.
At all times.
Yeah.
These news people are good at their job, which is gossip. My Aunt Salima would approve.
I wonder what his cousin Amy would think.
Let's read on.
Police have declined to confirm the report or to speculate on what it might mean.
The man went on.
However, they did confirm that the director of the surrogacy clinic, Noreen Wheaton, vanished this morning. Her home and office had been rifled.
I can't picture
Rifled through?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like rifle.
Or even just using rifled through, like a disarray is more of an ink. Yeah, ransacked. So many interwoven threads, Holly thought. Really? Like that many?
Not really that many,
She's
actually.
aware of all of them.
Did she read the character page at the beginning of the book? Because it's one page.
She would have realized that, who was it? Tever. Her husband's, her fiance's real name is Tever.
Betrothed.
Yes.
The one she's not so crazy about.
He's married because he's done some good things for her.
He's earned it, and she wouldn't want to friend zone him.
So many interwoven threads, Holly thought. But what was the overall pattern? The announcer. If you can tell me what that grunt is from, what illusion that is, I will give you smoking flaming hot Cheetos. Smoking flaming hot.
We'll get flaming hot Cheetos and then we'll smoke them. A nice smoky.
With hickory wood.
With apple wood smoked flaming hot Cheetos. Bon appetit.
The announcer had his
specialty.
The announcer had his own theory. He revealed with his next comment. I'm gonna reread that.
He revealed.
The announcer had his own theory. He revealed with his next comment.
Is this an old-fashioned crime of revenge?
He intoned.
Was Hannah Jasmine Rivers killed because she refused to surrender her son? Is Noreen Wheaton in danger because she failed to enforce the surrogacy agreement?
Doesn't Anchor ever have the right
to I don't think that this happens. No, I was just thinking that.
Who does he think he is?
Fears mount for the safety of the baby's aunt, Holly Jeanette Rivers, the missing bride. We'll bring you updates as soon as they come in.
Holly muted the sound.
They're ready to try, convict, and sentence you.
I wonder who told them about Ben's paternity. The clinic's record is supposed to be secret.
An employee?
Holly said.
Holly
asked. It says said, but it should be asked.
What about that man who witnessed the contract? Manuel Estrellas.
Whatever's going on here, he probably knows more about it than we do, Sharif agreed. First, however, we need to find the last man to see his sister alive. Did you get his number?
Yes,
she said.
Do you want me to page him?
I'll do it. Taking the...
it's a man's job.
A page. Taking the phone, Sharif dialed the number she had written, tapped in another one, and hung up. We can't receive calls on a cloned phone, so we have to give him my number. Ben awoke with a lusty wail. I don't know what a lusty wail. Just...
He just woke up.
Before she could react.
Because I pictured him baby boy.
Sharif tucked the phone away and collected the boy onto his lap. Would you prepare a bottle for me?
Sure.
If only Alice could see the melting look in the man's eyes as he played with the child. She wouldn't doubt their intimate connection.
Where did Zahad go?
You like to keep moving?
He likes to ride his motorcycle.
He's just doing donuts.
He got like a sidecar for it.
The Sheikh said vaguely. Oh. She could see there was no point in inquiring further. Okay.
Good thing that she included that part of the conversation then.
When father and son were settled, Holly went to check the items that the aide had brought. A pair of jeans and a V-necked sweater looked like the right size, although the tennis shoes were a bit large.
Are these for me? I'm amazed. They might actually fit.
My cousin is religious, but he observes everything. Very accurately, too.
He knows your cup size.
Sharif turned his attention to his son. He smiled down at the baby, who had laid one tiny hand on his wrist while eating.
Oh.
On his own wrist, or Sharif? I don't know.
I'm guessing Sharif's.
The tenderness they both felt for this baby had brought them together. Holly reflected in a burst of warmth.
I guess I should change then.
Holding the clothes, she started toward the bathroom.
Is she still just wearing his shirt right now then?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Take the phone with you in case Griff calls. If he hears a man answer, he might hang up.
Where is it?
Holly asked. Sharif's chin jerked downward.
In my pocket. Sorry, I have no free hands.
Oh, God.
Ooh, the teasing gaze he slanted at Holly made her aware of how intimately her silky shirt draped over the roundness of her breasts. No doubt he could see how the nipples tightened in the cool air.
No doubt.
I like how that paragraph, very short, came out completely nowhere. We have not had that language throughout this entire book.
No. She's been saving it.
Slowly she laid her fresh clothes aside. To retrieve the phone, she would have to reach into the front of Sharif's
We know!
sweatshirt. We understand. The prospect of touching his chest stirred a hot, restless ache, and she took a step backward.
Maybe we should wait till you're done feeding Ben?
Do I make you nervous?
One eyebrow lifted.
Why is she so turned off by his chest? Like, just get the fucking phone!
I apologize if I appear to be such a savage.
Ooh.
I promise that I will not attack you.
Does he have internalized racism?
Wow, he's really just taking it to heart.
Don't be ridiculous.
She could hardly explain what the problem was her, not him. She was so keenly aware of Sharif that her entire body seemed to vibrate.
I just don't want to disturb the baby.
He's fine. He's good.
Oh, man, are you kidding?
She could have sworn the Sheikh purposely assumed an expression of bland innocence.
Go right ahead.
Why has this been going on so long?
I hope the rest of the chapter is just
No,
not saying,
I couldn't.
"Oh, please do." He was daring her, and she didn't intend to back off. She reached past his arm and the baby.
And the baby's arm.
This is so sexy. The aura of the man surrounded her, and she paused. How could his subtle male scent make her so intensely aware of her own femininity?
Is something wrong?
Sharif asked.
Not a thing.
Said Holly. When she slid her hand into his front pocket, her palm grazed the wall of his chest.
She's going like this.
Through the knit fabric, she felt the tautness of his
He's
muscles.
flexing.
He's flexing. His eyelids lowered, giving him
He
the
blinked.
hooded ass. And then they reopened.
And they lifted.
His eyelids lowered, giving him the hooded aspect of a hawk.
Where's the phone?
Road pocket, he said.
You could have told me.
She yanked out her hand. That would have spoiled your fun. The corners of her mouth lifted.
Cheeky, aren't you?
I hope you're not giving up so easily.
Not at all.
She reached into the face.
How old are they? Pull her pigtails. Jesus.
She reached into the facing pocket, and her fingers closed over the phone. Their faces were only inches apart. His mouth was so strong, so close, so ready.
It's not that hard to take a phone out of someone's breast pocket.
Without having your face go
That
so
close.
close.
And like, I feel like she could have just looked at the pocket to see which one the phone was in. Also, she
Unless-
saw him put the phone in the pocket earlier.
Unless, of course, we now know that Holly actually has very short arms.
She's like a T-Rex.
Yes.
Like,
I'm going to take that as part of her character now.
okay.
She has those short of arms.
How short? So are we saying like her like
A foot. I'm going to say a foot long.
she just doesn't have forearms. She just has a hand where her elbow should be.
There's no bend.
And there's not really a wrist. It just goes, it's just big. Okay.
His mouth was okay. With one arm, he caught Holly against him, poised off balance above the baby.
Hey,
She protested.
I thought you had no free hand.
I had. He murmured.
Men lie.
Do you object?
She knew she ought to say yes. Or no. The funny thing was, she could remember which answer meant what. Whatever. I don't understand.
She's a woman.
confused.
She's just a woman. She doesn't know.
Hysterical.
Hysterical.
So she might as well find out what he would do next.
Oh my god.
Well, as long as we're here.
He didn't finish his thought, and she relaxed just for an instant. But it was long enough for him to guide her mouth down to his. The contact
Oh,
felt
Jesus.
shockingly intimate.
Grab onto your seats, folks. We're
The
going
baby,
head
I love
first.
the fact that
the
the
baby's
baby's-
between them right now.
He's just like, you probably watching. The contact felt shockingly intimate. She couldn't.
Duh.
She shouldn't be kissing this stranger, this fierce man of the desert.
Hole.
Yet hot passion invaded her veins, melting her will to resist. His tongue probed inside her lips. I really don't like the use of probed.
No.
Her tongue probed inside her lips. Lightly but firmly. A shudder ran through Holly. He was taking more of her than she'd intended to give. Yet she couldn't pull away. Cherie's hand feathered across her neck, teasing it, and ran down her back, smoothing the soft shirt. We get it, the shirt's soft.
That's all that they're talking about.
The restrained power in his touch fascinated her. She wanted to bury her hands in his hair and urge him on. The force of her desire threatened everything that Holly knew about herself, everything that
so
was
dramatic.
safe and familiar. To make supreme pleasure shine in his eyes, she would give. She knew to marry so badly. Awkwardly, Holly pulled away.
No!
I don't.
No.
Don't get that. I'm not done here.
The Sheikh tightened his one-armed grip. In his lap, Ben cooed winningly. I'm picturing him do like a big straight clap. He's like fired guns. Oh, Luigi knows. Inviting her to stay close. Like father, like son, she thought.
Jesus.
Oh, her baby is like,
It's not her baby.
but like the baby is very young at this point. No
It's a
sexual
baby.
drive.
It's a
No
baby.
sexual drive.
I can't do this.
she said,
I'm engaged to marry Trevor.
with a sharp exhalation. Sharif released her.
I apologize. You belong to another man. I have no right to intrude.
We belong to men. That's true. This was the year 2000, I should keep in mind, though.
Yeah? Pre 9/11. 9/11 changed everything.
Pre the end of sexism.
It's my fault as much as yours.
She said miserably.
Mm.
Hitting herself up. She's like hitting herself up.
Oh, it's stupid! How would you forget about Trevor, the most forgettable person in the world?
His gaze grew opaque.
What's that?
Go.
Was he see-through before?
Get dressed.
She straightened and picked up the clothes, then remembered that she needed shampoo. When she checked the objects on the table, she saw, what a terrible choice of words, objects. She saw that Zahad had left several boxes of hair dye, along with a pair of scissors.
I guess I should use some of this, in case we decide to go out.
The Sheikh nodded.
Perhaps when you are finished, you can do something to change my appearance as well. Considering your profession, you should have no difficulty.
This place doesn't exactly come with the latest equipment,
She said.
but I can manage.
Well, Holly picked out a package of dark rinse and went into the bathroom. How
The
the rest of the chapter. Everything solved. She picked the
Boy, that's
she picked
sexy.
the dark rinse. Excitement surged through Sharif's body. His need for Holly sang in his blood into the most hidden reaches of his mind. Never had he experienced such delicious torment. Mm. The woman had returned his passion with an equal measure of her own. For a brief moment the Sheikh had allowed himself to long for things he could not have, for her red hair spilling across his pillow, her lips curving in invitation, like duck face. Come get me. Her arms reaching for him. This woman in his bed by his side.
We get it.
He must accept the truth. Holly could not be his. She belonged to another man in another world.
And also, she's a person.
Even if she were free, how could he keep her?
Keep it going. All these possessive.
He was not a domesticated man. Oh.
What?
He's a wild man.
He's not housebroken? What the hell does that mean? He's feral? Jesus, Jackie.
Jacqueline!
Jacqueline.
Put on the red light. That a woman.
Jacqueline.
Put on the red light. Okay. He was on your racism. He was not a domesticated man that a woman could depend on. At a young age, violence had been drilled into his reflexes. War had become his natural state.
He's incapable of love.
He's incapable of being anything but violent.
But a fighter.
That's another thing about that simile. He walks when he was walking like a fighter.
Mm-hmm.
He is one.
Yeah. Like, duh, Jack.
He would not make Holly dependent only to let her down, only to lose her, as he had lost Iona.
I forgot about her.
You
You were meant to.
He had held joy once, like a fragile ceramic vessel.
Who's Joy?
Without meaning to, he had crushed it to shards. The sharp pieces cut him still. 9 years ago, his wife could have gone to Europe for medical care, but she had clung to him, determined to bear their child in their homeland. And he selfishly had agreed. After the liberation of their home province, Sharif might have stayed with her. He could have sent Zahad in his stead to fight in their country's capital, but having tasted victory in Bahrain, he had thirsted for more, and left his cousin in charge of the palace's defenses. The Sheikh had not even been present when his wife died, unable to gaze into her face, to speak his love, to hold her hands. He had been too busy fighting. It haunted him still, this terrible absence, that she must have cried out for him and received only silence. He had betrayed her love. We get it. Things did not work out, and he ruined it.
Shit happens. Things fall apart.
Sharif's arms, been riddled.
Ooh, great word. Love that R.
Realizing that the boy probably needed to be changed, Sharif took him to the small table by the fire.
Hey, he's moving. I see his diaper.
That's what I do when I go to the bathroom.
Because wild. The process came more easily this time. His son had a cooperative nature. Perhaps that was a good thing. Okay.
Perhaps not. Who knows?
In the future, he hoped that Al-Qadar would need diplomats more than warriors.
Oh.
He's making a lot of, assumptions based on... They're both making a lot of assumptions based on a baby's, natural reactions.
Like, what the hell
and
else
movements.
is a baby supposed to do?
They're like, oh, he must be a diplomat. Oh, he's a dog. He's a baby. That's all he is. He's no real personality. On television, the weatherman was predicting a major storm, the biggest of the season. It's Al Roker.
Yes.
It seemed as
That's
if...
canon. He was on the character page.
It seemed as if the elements were determined to isolate them. He lifted the baby against his shoulder. The little head came up. The two shiny eyes peered into his. Love flooded through Sharif, so powerful that the breath caught in his throat.
We get it, you love your kid.
This is really boring.
I hate new parents.
I said this is boring, but listen.
Oh yeah.
He might armor himself against his yearning for a wife, but he could not deny the power that this child held over him. He had thought he could...
Release me, child.
Release me from your spell. He thought he could produce a son and then simply entrust him to Amy and Aunt Salima.
Wait, who's Amy?
Because there's a cousin Amy. Is that
This is a different Amy.
The child had been intended...
Do you think the listeners are still laughing about that?
I think they're still having belly laughs from the very beginning of this episode.
Should we give him a little break?
There. The child had been intended as a gift to Barim. From the first time he saw the ultrasound picture of his son, however, Sharif's heart had been taken captive. Now he must protect the child at any cost. The bathroom door opened. Even had he not heard it, he felt a change in the atmosphere when Holly returned.
And this bitch thought she could sneak out in the middle of a rainstorm. He can tell when the pressure changes when a door opens.
Well, I'm picturing that the change in the atmosphere is that it's getting a little stinky.
No, she showered.
Yeah, but she might have taken a dump as well. She might have wrecked that toilet.
Do you think she took a dump after showering? What kind of
I
savage...
think she did an upper decker.
Oh my god, what a bitch!
Well, she is
Women! Go to urbandictionary.com if you don't know what upper decker is.
Now he must protect the child at any cost. The fragrance of her skin and the brightness of her spirit filled the room.
You were right!
Well, the fragrance of her skin, the smell, it was sticking to her. She tossed her bottled shirt onto the bed.
I can wash that by hand if you've got some mild detergent.
Yeah, more important matters too.
He stopped on catching sight of her changed appearance. Gone was the sweep of auburn, replaced by a dark brown page boy. She hadn't altered the length except to cut bangs that fell across her forehead. The new style altered the proportions of her face. Well, it seems like she did very little difference besides just changing her hair color and just trimming her bangs.
Yeah.
Her face is
She's totally different.
I'm still to learn, but still.
I don't know, he mentioned her auburn hair like every single time. I think that's just, he's wanted to fuck her hair.
And she did fart.
She does reek good now.
Does reek of feces. The new style altered the proportions of her face, making her cheeks appear wider and her mouth fuller. That'll come in handy.
Sexier!
That'll come in handy. Against the stark color.
Maybe her mouth, maybe her lips are just swollen from the kiss.
A bee stung her in the shower. Against the stark coloring, her light skin gave her an air of sensuous fragility.
Well,
She said,
is it that bad?
bad enough that he wanted to resume where they had left off. With a kiss that deepened into something that no man should contemplate with another man's bride. Your puppy is recognized, he said, in as level a tone as he could summon. Can you transform me as well? Stopping by the table, Holly fingered another of the boxes that Saad had left.
Your cousin has good sense. He didn't expect me to turn you into a blonde surfer.
That would hardly be possible.
He hoped she did not hear the gruff note in his voice. The gruff that's always there in my voice.
What color shall I be?
Medium brown.
Holly said, placing a chair by the sink.
You need a trim, too. Who cuts your hair at home?
You're the past barber.
Of course.
After settling Ben in a large wicker
Doesn't he have
basket.
dark hair? How's she gonna dye his hair medium brown? She's gonna bleach it first. Well, let's read on.
Things were different in 2000.
That's true.
Things have only gotten more complicated.
That's true.
After settling Ben in a large wicker basket near the hearth.
Hopefully there's something in there.
Hopefully it's
Blanket.
important that we learned it was a wicker basket. Sharif sat down.
I hope it's not too close to the hearth.
Wicker bird trees.
You're sure it isn't the palace butcher?
Zing. He chuckled.
Isn't that bad? You cannot blame him. He has to catch me on the run.
He'd taken some small pride in not
He
becoming
just means that the Sheikh will only have his hair cut while he's on a treadmill, which makes it much more difficult.
very hard. He had taken some pride in not becoming a decadent man who satisfied his vanity with fancy haircuts and scented shaving lotions.
They took pride in that?
Now he wondered if he had been foolish to think a decadent haircut would offend his masculinity.
Yes, Jacqueline.
This could be messy. I need to cover you with something.
In a drawer, Holly found a vinyl tablecloth which he draped over his shoulders.
Let's see if we can't lift and lighten you into a complete
Anonymity.
anonymity.
The Sheikh was not eager to be either lifted or lightened. However, he leaned back over the sink and yielded to Holly's ministrations. I thought I said menstruations. I'm sorry. She
Yielded.
Alright, let it happen.
She worked with steady efficiency as she shampooed and rinsed him, then combed and snipped his thick hair. Her touch on his scalp and the light pull of the scissors had a lulling impact.
Out.
As soon as she finished cutting, Holly applied the coloring agent. The sharp smell of chemicals filled the air. Attentively, she wiped drips from his forehead.
We'll have to let that sit for a while.
It'd take you long to change your hair color.
He pointed out.
It's easier to go darker.
She said,
You know, you've got great hair.
Excuse me?
Pulls on a knife.
It's thick and has wonderful texture. Just coarse enough to style easily.
Thank you, I use conditioner.
as she
It's
talked,
small.
as she talked, Holly scrubbed residue from the sink and counter.
You're lucky to have a hint of natural curl, too.
It helps defeat my enemies.
The Sheikh spoke as solemnly as he could.
They become fascinated by my texture and curl. And while they're staring at it, I kill them.
A peal of laughter split the air.
You've got a sense of humor.
You doubted it?
He feigned a hurt expression. I don't know the emotions going on in this dialogue. I'm really having trouble pinning down how to say these things.
Never.
Amusement softened her features and made her eyes sparkle. At this moment, Sharif could not imagine how he would return to Akdor without her. Then abruptly she blurted,
Oh dear.
He followed Holly's line of sight to discover what had dismayed her. It was, as usual, the TV. He was beginning to hate the thing. Right now, Trevor Samuelson's face filled the screen. Filled it. I hope
He's got a wide head like, hey, Arnold.
Man.
That noise. That's just the noise.
That's a siren.
What do you mean a siren? He's an attorney, isn't he? That's what he says. That's what he does instead of objection. Your Honor.
The man was reclaiming his fiancée, even from a distance. A rival, Sharif reflected, who could not and should not be beaten. Holly turned up the sound. And I'm asking this man to release my wife to be. She's no threat to you. Just please let her go.
We understand that you're offering a reward.
Pulling back, the camera showed a woman.
They're all clones at the news station.
They just changed the sex of
They just put a wig on her sometimes. And stuff her shirt.
Great version.
Yeah.
Pulling back, the camera showed a woman reporter standing beside him in front of a sprawling...
Who looks suspiciously like the reporter from before.
In front of a sprawling Mediterranean-style house. Once
Are you
again,
kidding me?
that does not matter. I'll pay $10,000 for information leading to her safe return. Trevor's face looked pouchy.
Marsupial.
Sleepless from a short-circuited wedding night, no doubt. Someone must have seen them. Someone has used something. I'll make it worth the while.
I'd do anything.
Here's the number of the police department.
911. It flashed on the screen, followed by another.
But since it's a book, it's like 555 911.
And here's one from Mr. Samuelson's office if any of our viewers would rather speak with you directly.
1-800-GENERAL now.
He's
Holly.
the general.
General. For the best car insurance rates online, go to the General and save some
His
time.
face is taking up the whole screen. That's the general.
Holly hugged herself.
Sharif,
She said,
I ought to call him.
he was trying to marshal his arguments when his own phone rang. Holly flinched. Then, at his nod, she answered it.
Yes? Griff, it's me, Holly.
They had reached their target. Sharif only hoped the man could help them. And if he were the killer, they wouldn't walk blindly into his grasp. End of chapter 6. I like that chapter.
It's better.
It was fun.
They
It was a roller coaster of a ride.
slapped some spit at least.
Mm-hmm.
Ben squished him.
Ben, I just
It was
love the assumptions.
it was
that
the scene from the front of the book.
But he's kissing Ben.
They were just kissing either side of Ben's face, actually.
And their eyes were closed.
And his tongue. I'm sorry.
Okay. a lot of new
New?
Oriental
Yeah, that's true.
names. Man of the Desert is the first one that comes to mind.
Ouch.
And the inference that he's like a feral man.
Yeah, not domesticated.
I mean, that's Orientalism.
Like,
there.
to a T. Like, that could be our definition in the intro. Also new, Holly's confused by her feelings for him. He loves the baby. She loves the baby.
They're both
The
always
baby's
thinking.
making all kinds of weird noises.
And they're always thinking.
And they're always conflicted. There's
Even
no
when they
clear
say things.
answer. Even when they say things or kiss, they're thinking.
It's either written as he said, or it's some really conflicted emotion.
Yeah. We do know that Jacqueline's best friend is a thesaurus. to a fault at times.
I'm guessing that it's her editor's best friend is the thesaurus.
Okay.
I'm guessing that she just
I wish
kept
we could
writing,
read the...
he said, she said,
I
he
wish we
yelled,
could...
she asked, and then he's like, we gotta spice this up. Gotta spice it up.
I'd like to read the original.
I want to know, Jacqueline, we want the original manuscript. Russia, if you're listening, hack into Jacqueline Diamond's computer.
Just kidding, obviously.
We're just kidding, but really.
But do it, though.
Get that manuscript, the missing manuscript. Crooked Jacqueline.
Keep Crooked Jacqueline out of the publisher's clearinghouse.
Yeah, so the same amount of terrible writing on many fronts with just Oriental, racist, bigoted things.
Also, just not a good
and
writer.
and just unnecessary details. It seemed like this chapter
The
was
Mediterranean
so
style
much
house.
more full of them. Yes, the wicker basket. Who cares? Like none of this is
The shirt, the damn shirt that she was wearing.
I guess that maybe she had like a character goal that she was trying to hit. Like her publisher's like, if we're gonna publish this, we need you to have at least like this amount of words.
Yeah.
It's just like wicker basket, Mediterranean style. What does that even look like?
That's a long word.
That could be there. So yeah, what are your ratings on this chapter?
I give it a dolphin and then a little starfish too.
I give it 2 cucumbers that have been soaking in the sink.
Not pickles though.
They're not pickles.
Because they weren't in a brine. They were just soaking in some water.
Yeah. That's my review.
Okay, I mean, I think everyone understands what that means.
I'm not giving it out of. You know what I mean?
No, I didn't either. Everyone knows. Why waste the characters? We have a limited number of characters that we could have on this show. It's very strict how that we meet them.
No. All right. Well, I guess that is the end of episode 6, the Garbage Man's Revenge.
Was it Garbage Man?
Mm-hmm.
He sure did get it. I think we all felt some closure with that character.
Yeah, everything kind of wrapped up.
I'm interested to see how she continues. Like, she could have ended it right there.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. All right, well, that is it. So I'm gonna sign off.
Peace.
Bye.
Bye, your truth.
Bye.